What does it feel like when an online romance crashes and burns in real life? After 100 days of chatting online, I secretly went to my online girlfriend's university, planning to surprise her, but accidentally overheard her talking with her best friend. She said, "What's the point of him just flirting online all day? He's too stingy to spend a dime on me, a textbook cheapskate, and after all this time, he still won't show his face in our photo exchanges. Probably just some broke loser. Poor is one thing, but he's also a perv. Keeps asking to check the goods in advance." Her friend laughed maliciously. "So did you show him anything?" My online girlfriend hummed softly. "Yeah, but it wasn't me, it was Willow's." Her friend gasped. "Willow, the roommate you said had E-cup boobs but still whines about her body image." She snorted. "Exactly, she's so eager to help, when I didn't want to send my own pics. She volunteered to send hers instead." Her friend burst into laughter. Then that must have made him so excited he couldn't stop grinning. The group erupted in laughter. I laughed too, thinking of that jaw-droppingly seductive photo. 3 minutes later, I wanted all her information. Chapter 1. I'm an honest man. Honest and decent, well-behaved and disciplined, law-abiding, diligent, and studious, my ass. That's just the image I put up for elders, the real me. Rebellious, defiant, vengeful, not someone you'd want to mess with. And I've got one big weakness. Lust. In every sense of the word. After the college entrance exam, I spent every day scrolling through sexy girls online. Gym outfits, shiny black stockings, sheer white yoga pants. I liked, commented, and bookmarked them all. The more I browsed, the more my blood boiled. Eventually, I couldn't help myself. I started an online relationship. Her name was Maria, a pure-looking college girl. Long legs, tiny waist, swan neck, right-angled shoulders, butterfly back, and a peach-shaped butt. Most importantly, 36E, an absolute bombshell. It felt like winning the lottery. To my surprise, Maria turned out to attend the same university as me. I thought that must be fate, but she had no idea who I was. I didn't tell her because I wanted to surprise her once the semester started. To keep the mystery, I never sent her a photo showing my face. She got upset about that. Her voice on the phone was full of grievance. Her hometown was just one city over, less than half an hour away by high-speed train. After thinking it through, I decided to go meet her in person. Chapter 2. During the honeymoon phase we reported everything to each other. Even where we were eating with friends, we'd send a message to let the other know. So I didn't need to pry words out of her. I followed the navigation and easily found the snack stall where they were sitting. Out of the dozens of roadside tables I spotted Maria at once. She was even prettier in person than in her photos. It was high summer and even the wind felt hot. When it hit me my mood flared. I steadied my breathing and was about to approach. But I heard Maria roll her eyes and sneer. "What use is just saying you like someone? That's all empty talk. He won't even transfer me money for holidays, a textbook cheapskate. And after all this time of online dating he still won't show his face in photos. He's probably just a broke loser." My step faltered. The thrill in my chest ebbed like a receding tide. Then Maria added, "He's just a backup." How could I actually fall for him? Listen, high-quality girls must keep lots of backups, so we can be sure to pick a high-value guy. She snorted. Being poor would be one thing, but he's a perv, insisted I take photos for him. I bit my lip. My fists tightened without me realizing it. She'd been boasting about how forward she was, baiting me to ask if I wanted to see. Why not take a look if offered? Who would refuse? Now she was acting like she'd been forced into it. Amid the teasing laughter someone asked, "So did you show him?" Maria hummed and said lightly, "Not mine, it was Willow's." Shock rippled through them. One girl said, "The roommate you mentioned last time, the one with E-cups who says she's anxious about her figure." Maria pressed her lips together. "Yeah, Willow's really helpful." When I refused to take pics of myself, she offered to send hers instead. The table fell silent for a beat, then burst into laughter. Someone said, "Unbelievable, so this relationship looks like two people on the surface, but it's actually two people plus an extra cup size." More peals of laughter followed. Maria frowned and said, "What relationship? I told you he's just a backup. At best he deserves to be treated like a dog. Once the summer breaks over I'll kick that broke loser to the curb." Hearing Maria say all that didn't hit me as hard as you might expect. Right then my mind was full of that shocking photo. What was her name again? Oh, right, Willow. Chapter 3. I sat on the high-speed train heading home, scrolling through Maria's social media feed. But that girl was so self-absorbed, her posts were nothing but selfies. Not a single picture of anyone else. I sighed. Looked like if I wanted to know what Willow looked like, I'd have to wait until school started. I felt a flicker of disappointment. Then opened another app to scroll through videos of pretty girls. Just before the train reached my stop, I stumbled upon a campus interview clip. The title read, "Who's the most beautiful girl on campus in your opinion?" I wasn't that interested and was about to swipe away, when I suddenly heard the name Willow. At that exact moment, the train's arrival chime rang. As I walked out, I turned up the volume on my earbuds. After listening a few times, I was sure I hadn't misheard, and the school name matched too. Then I thought of that unforgettable photo again. So the campus beauty, Willow, turned out to be quite bold behind the scenes. Chapter 4. As the semester approached, Maria grew colder and colder. She took days to reply to my messages. I gritted my teeth. If she weren't still somewhat useful to me, I'd have deleted her long ago. That night, staring at our one-sided chat, I stubbornly sent her another meme. This time, she actually replied quickly. She said, "I think we're not really suitable for each other. We can be friends, but not lovers." I was lying in bed watching dance videos of beautiful women when that message popped up, and my eyes lit up. Finally, I'd been waiting for this moment. Grinning, I typed back, "Why, did I not do enough? I can change." "Okay, I'm sorry, JPG." Maria replied, "No, don't overthink it. It's my problem." I sneered. Classic manipulative breakup script, zero creativity. After silently mocking her, I continued playing the role of the simp. I wrote, "You don't have to comfort me. I know I don't deserve a girl as amazing as you. You deserve someone better. I wish you happiness." Maria froze. Her heart gave an odd twitch. After a while, she replied, "You're a good guy. Be more confident. I'm the one who let you down." Then she added, "If you have any requests, tell me, I'll agree to them." That got my attention. I sat up straight and immediately called her. When she picked up, I sighed first, letting my tone carry a hint of sorrow and humility. I asked softly, "You'll really agree to anything I ask?" Maria answered seriously, "Yes. I kind of know your situation. You don't come from money and you're not very confident about your looks. But that doesn't matter to me. If you want to see me, I can meet you right now." I cut her off mid-sentence, then introduced me to a new girlfriend. I was tired of listening to her nonsense and went straight for it. Maria froze. 3 seconds later, she stammered, "Ah." Chapter 5. I sighed and said, "Maria, honestly, from the moment I saw your photo, I knew we were never meant to be. You're so beautiful. How could someone like you ever like an ordinary guy like me? Being your friend is already more than enough for me." Maria had been ready to explode at me, but those words instantly cooled her down. Her vanity was satisfied, and guilt crept in to fill the space it left. So she said, "George, don't look down on yourself. You're a good guy. I'll introduce you to my roommate." Then she added, "She's really pretty too. A lot of rich heirs at our school have tried to chase her, but she turned them all down. That shows she doesn't care about money when it comes to dating. You two should talk, maybe you'll get along." I paused for a moment, sighed softly, and said, "All right. I'll give it a try." Then, pretending to sound casual, I asked, "By the way, what's her name?" Maria replied, "Willow. Her name is Willow." Got it. My eyes curved in delight as I suppressed my excitement and steadied my breathing. I said, "All right, then I'll add her on WeChat. Please send me her contact." Then I added, "Thank you, Maria." Maria chuckled. "What's there to thank me for? We're friends now, aren't we?" Chapter 6. 10 minutes later. Willow and I became friends online. I couldn't wait to check her social feed, but nothing. Completely empty. It was like I'd been blocked. No posts, no updates. Even her profile picture looked stiff, like one of those auto-generated avatars from a new account. Was Maria messing with me? Just as I started to doubt, a series of new messages popped up. "Hi George, I'm Willow. Maria said she wanted to introduce you to me as her boyfriend. Lately I've actually been thinking about dating, so maybe we can give it a try, but I'm worried I'm not your type. I'll send you my photos first, look at them, and then decide whether you still want to be with me." I swallowed hard and scrolled upward slowly. My thumb trembled as I tapped the photo open. The next second, my pupils dilated. If seeing a regular beauty made my heart race, then just one still image of Willow was enough to make my head spin and my nose bleed. I started pacing back and forth in excitement. Then Maria messaged me again. "Willow isn't exactly easy to get along with. She's cold to almost everyone. Don't be discouraged, just take the initiative." What? I looked at the new photos Willow had sent, revealing sultry shots that could melt steel. Cold. If women were like water, then she was already boiling. Chapter 7. I held my phone tightly, saving each of Willow's stunning photos into my gallery, one by one. For a moment, I forgot to reply. Willow couldn't sit still. She messaged, "You don't like them?" Then added, "Maybe I didn't find the right angle. Everyone says I look even better in person. Why don't we meet? I can come find you." My eyebrows lifted. So eager already. From what I'd seen online, most people who met their online lovers in real life moved fast. Some even, on the very first day. Was that really okay? As I hesitated, My finger accidentally tapped into my hidden album. Only one photo in there. My blood rushed hot. My lips went dry. I poured myself a glass of ice water to cool down and typed, "It's not that I don't like you, you're gorgeous." Then. But there's no need to rush the meeting. We're technically schoolmates anyway. We'll see each other once the semester starts. After sending that message, the chat went quiet for a while. Then my phone began to vibrate. I cleared my throat before answering. "Hello," I said in my most composed voice. A crisp, sweet voice flowed through the speaker. "Hi, it's Willow." My heart jolted. I touched my burning ear and said softly, "I know." She asked gently, "So, does this mean we're a couple now?" I countered. "But you don't even know who I really am. What I look like. What if we meet and I turn out to be a broke loser? Wouldn't that shock you?" Willow gave a soft hum. "That won't happen." I bit my lip. Maria had said the exact same thing. And look how that turned out. Sensing my silence, Willow spoke again, slower this time. "George, I don't want to lie to you. I've actually seen you before." "Seen me before? Where?" Someone like Willow, I definitely remember if I had. My mind spun. But before I could ask, she continued. "The reason I wanted to make things official so quickly is because I know you went to Cydia recently. I guessed you were there to find Maria." I blinked, completely confused. "She didn't even know I went to see her," I said. "How could you know?" Willow paused, then spoke softly, "Because she made a post, looking for you." Chapter 8. Willow sent me a link. I frowned and tapped it open. A slightly blurry photo popped up. Me, sitting inside a luxury car, forehead leaning against the cool window glass. Neon light streaking across my profile. The whole shot radiated cinematic atmosphere. The caption read, "Urgent post, need help finding someone. Location, City A. Night of the 7th. Met the most heartbreakingly handsome guy ever. Girls, you don't get it, his face totally wrecked me. I chased the car but lost him. Please, someone help me. If I can reach him, I'll gladly suffer this love on behalf of all sisters out there." By the time I finished reading, I burst out laughing. I glanced at the calendar. 1 week until the semester started. How exciting. Chapter 9. I rolled over in bed, staring at Willow's stunning photos on my phone. But honestly, compared to Maria's lost and found love post, what intrigued me more was when Willow had seen me before. It was as if she read my mind. Before I could even ask, she started explaining on her own. She said, 3 years ago, at the Hong Kong National Youth Model United Nations, I was there too. You were sitting across the aisle from me." I froze for a moment, then turned up the volume and pressed the phone closer to my ear. So, it was during the Model UN conference. What a coincidence. I'd only ever gone to that event once, and she just happened to be there too, so she must have fallen for me at first sight. A smirk tugged at the corner of my mouth. I was about to make a few cocky remarks when Willow continued. "You were probably starving that day. You scarfed down 10 hot dogs in one go." I'm speechless. Can someone come and poison her until she's mute? I'd thought she was captivated by my eloquence during the debate. But no, her focus had been on how many hot dogs I'd inhaled. I frowned and said in a low voice, "And then?" Through the speaker came a soft, melodic laugh. Immersed in the memory, she said, "You take each one in a single bite, inhaling them like a gale, you eat like my family's husky." That was the first time I understood what it meant to be truly moved. I was speechless. I cleared my throat and said dryly, "Are you sure it wasn't just because you got hungry watching me?" Even as I said it, my heartbeat kept speeding up. Chapter 10. Willow laughed again, softly. "I wanted to come talk to you after the session ended to ask for your contact info," she said. "But a friend called me over. By the time I looked back, you were gone." She continued. "I never saw you again at another MUN event. Luckily, though, I somehow got your WeChat ID. I sent you several friend requests, but you rejected all of them the last time. You even replied saying you don't add strangers and told me not to bother you anymore. After that, I stopped trying." I suddenly understood and said, "Oh, that's what happened." I rubbed my forehead helplessly and admitted. To be honest, around that time, my dad kept testing my self-control. He'd get people to send me friend requests just to see if I'd accept. After a while, I got so used to rejecting them all that I didn't even check. Willow let out a short, "Oh," but there was still a touch of hurt in her tone. Then she said quietly, "That day when Maria told me she'd started dating a guy named George, I immediately thought of you, but it sounded impossible. Then I saw her screenshots. Your avatar and username were exactly the same as 3 years ago. That's when I knew for sure." Her voice grew soft, almost sad. "I don't even know how to describe what I felt. I was jealous of Maria, but when I saw how happy you looked, I was happy for you too. I'm a contradiction. I wanted you two to break up. But I was afraid that would make you sad." Her affection burned bright and pure, tinged with a faint melancholy. "TCH, not my thing. I wasn't about to let her bask in heartbreak drama. So I bluntly changed the subject. So, is that why you sent the shockwave photo? Willow froze. Then panic slipped into her voice. I didn't. If you think what I did was bad, I'm sorry, but I can explain. Maria said you wanted that kind of photo from her, but she was pretending to be shy about it. I didn't want you to see hers, so I nearly burst out laughing. This girl, so cunning. Suppressing my grin, I gave her a deliberately neutral compliment. Your pair, not bad. Willow choked, paused for a long time, then stammered. Thank you. Chapter 11. 2 days later, the new semester began. Even though Willow and I hadn't met in person yet, we were already inseparable. We even fell asleep on the phone together every night. Maria was utterly shocked. The Willow she knew was the classic ice queen, distant, aloof, untouchable. In the entire year they'd been roommates. The only time Willow had ever started a conversation with her was when she sent that explosive photo. Before that, they weren't even friends online. That's exactly why Maria thought Willow was actually a great person to deal with, quiet, but dependable when it mattered. So for her, successfully matching the two of us up was a point of pride. She teased. You two are so lovey-dovey every day, don't you even care if I live or die? I was on speakerphone, packing my luggage, when Maria's voice suddenly came through again. Anyway, it's fine. Once I find my own boyfriend, I won't be single for long either. Then the four of us can go traveling together. George, what do you think? Chapter 12. Before I could reply, Willow's voice cut in sharply. I don't think so. You can stay out of it. Then she softened immediately. George, what were you just about to say? That seamless switch between icy and gentle. God, it hit all the right spots. That's exactly the kind of girlfriend I liked, one with sharp contrasts. That's what made love exciting. Feeling sweet and smug, my voice came out tender. I was just saying, I told her. I'm planning to go back to campus a day early to get familiar with the place. Really? Willow asked. Then came a sudden thunk sound, followed by a startled little ah. The phone clattered, and I heard a muffled groan. I frowned. Willow, you okay? She giggled softly. I'm fine. Just dropped the phone on my face by accident. Are you coming alone? Or are your parents coming too? I said. My parents are abroad right now. They'll come back after attending a wedding. Willow made a small hum of acknowledgement. Then she said, so, what time will you get here tomorrow? I'll come meet you. I began. But before I could finish, Maria suddenly jumped back into the call. Wait, what? George is coming to our school. Then she exclaimed. Oh wow, Willow, take me with you. I want to go too. Willow's tone turned displeased. I'm going to meet my boyfriend. Why would you tag along? Maria snorted. I don't care. You two only met because of me. And George is my friend too. What's wrong with me wanting to say hi? Willow, clearly annoyed, moved away from Maria and shut herself onto the balcony. Her voice dropped into a soft pout. George. I'll do whatever you say. Do you want to see her? Honestly, she was surprisingly considerate. I smiled and replied without hesitation. No, I don't want to see her. I only want to see you. Chapter 13. The next day, the plane landed smoothly. While waiting in line to collect my luggage, I pulled out my phone and messaged Willow. I've just landed. Are you here yet? She replied almost instantly. The moment you come out, you'll see me. Then she added. George, we're finally about to meet. I'm so excited. And teasingly threatened. When I see you, I'm going to kiss you to death, hard. I grinned and shot back. Deal. No one's allowed to get shy then. Once I see you, I'm pinning you against a wall and kissing you first. A secret thrill sparked in my chest. After grabbing my suitcase, I picked up the bouquet of Juliet roses I'd brought and tucked my phone away. Walking toward the exit, it was peak back-to-school season, and the airport was packed. But even through the crowd, I spotted Willow immediately, and she spotted me too. The moment our eyes met, I finally understood how dangerous true beauty could be. That face, that figure. It was like someone had sculpted her to perfection. She wore light makeup and a simple white dress, just stood there staring blankly at me. Even as I walked closer, she was still frozen in place. A sinking feeling hit my chest. That reaction. Did she not like what she saw? Chapter 14. My mood plummeted. I lowered my gaze, expression turning cold, ready to pretend I didn't recognize her and walk away. But suddenly, someone grabbed my sleeve. Then I heard that familiar, delicate voice beside me. These flowers, are they for me? I lifted my eyelids and turned toward her. To my surprise, she instantly looked away. She stammered. You've got a lot of luggage. Let me help you push it. Her head was bowed low, only the tips of her ears visible, bright red, like they were bleeding with shyness. My eyes flickered with amusement. So that's what it was. She was nervous. I shoved the bouquet into her arms with a grin. What's wrong? Weren't you the one who said you were going to kiss me to death? Why the hesitation now, chickening out? Willow froze, face flushing scarlet. I did not. When did I ever say that? But I wasn't about to let her off easy. I slipped one hand around the back of her neck, the other settling on her waist, and pulled her firmly into my arms. Because of our height difference, the top of her head rested just under my chin. Her heartbeat was rapid, pounding like a drum beneath her ribs. My hand on her waist tightened slightly. If you're too shy to kiss me, I murmured, then I'll just have to kiss you. She lifted her gaze to mine, breath quickening. That faint, sweet scent of hers drifted up to my nose, and even the air between us seemed to heat up. Travelers passed by in a hurry, some glancing our way. Willow's pride seemed to ignite. She tilted her head up, lips pressed together, and whispered, "Then do it." My breath hitched. I swallowed hard. I was just leaning down when a voice suddenly shouted behind me, "Ugh, I'm exhausted." "Willow, you're so mean. How could you ditch me to meet George all by yourself?" Chapter 15. Both Willow and I froze for a second. Then, before I could even react, a pair of arms suddenly wrapped around my neck, and the next moment, Willow rose on tiptoe and kissed me. Behind us, Maria's teasing voice rang out, Well, looks like you two are really satisfied with each other." She walked closer, smiling playfully. "George, I'm Maria. Finally meeting you in person." I started to turn my head, but Willow's hand quickly pressed me back, forcing me to face forward. Maria frowned. "Oh, come on, you two are already making out. Can't I at least see his face?" Willow shot back firmly. "No, absolutely not." Then added possessively, "He's my boyfriend." Maria scoffed. Yeah, fine, who'd even try to steal him from you anyway?" She huffed. "I'll go." "All right, who cares?" But as she spoke, her eyes stayed glued to me the whole time. Willow's tone turned icy. "What are you staring at? Go." Her face had gone completely cold. Maria rolled her eyes, thinking to herself, what's her problem? She's guarding him like a jealous little dog. After being snapped at several times, Maria's own irritation flared. Still, she couldn't help but notice, the watch on my wrist looked expensive, easily worth a fortune. So, George wasn't just charming, he was probably loaded too. She wondered what I actually looked like under Willow's no peeking rule. But then she shook her head. Didn't matter. No matter how rich or good-looking he was, he'd never compare to that person. That thought alone steadied her emotions. She decided not to humiliate herself any further, and left without another word. Chapter 16. Since official registration wasn't until tomorrow, I had to stay in a hotel for the night. The ones near campus weren't exactly fancy, but at least they were clean. Willow came with me to check in. The receptionist took one look at us and smiled knowingly. "Sir, I'll need this young lady's ID as well for check-in." I quickly waved a hand. "Oh, she's not staying, just me." The receptionist gave us a long look, first at me, then at Willow, and his grin turned sly, like he understood exactly what was going on but decided not to say it. "Got it," he said cheerfully. Willow and I glanced at each other, then instantly looked away. Sigh. Why did it suddenly feel like not doing anything would make that misunderstanding feel wasted? I shook my head hard, trying to clear away the inappropriate thoughts, and followed Willow to the room. Inside, she immediately started helping me unpack. Then she took out a set of disposable bed sheets and covers. I stood nearby, quietly watching her side profile. That nose, tall, perfectly shaped. Had she gotten it done? That face, flawless, sculpted, elegant, maybe a lift. But there wasn't a single sign of any cosmetic work. I couldn't help but marvel inwardly. There really were people this beautiful in real life. And she was my girlfriend. Damn, I was impressive. I was still staring when Willow suddenly turned her head, caught red-handed ogling. I stammered. What's wrong?" She locked eyes with me, long, deep, silent, her lips parting slightly like she wanted to say something but couldn't. I glanced at the bed, then at her, and just like that, all the dirty thoughts I'd been suppressing came rushing back to the surface. "Why you? Have something you want to say?" I asked, my voice catching. She gave me a soft look and hummed, barely audible. Then, after finishing with the sheets, she walked over and hooked her pinky finger around mine. My heart leapt straight into my throat. Was this it? Was it really happening? Chapter 17. As Willow leaned closer, my heartbeat spun out of control. My breathing quickened. The air between us grew thick, the tension crackling like static, charged with heat and something dangerously intimate. Under that gaze full of emotion, Willow finally spoke. She said softly, "If Maria finds out that you're the guy she's been looking for, and she comes back for you, would you stop wanting me?" I blinked at her. Seriously? She'd worked herself up just to ask that. No wonder she wouldn't let me turn around at the airport. She'd been afraid I might fall for Maria. What could I even say? This feeling is just like when you go to eat, And the person sitting across from you has prepared a grand feast for you. Your appetite is wide open. You're ready to dig in, and then she asks you, do you want to eat that pile of dog shit by the roadside instead? That would scare you limp. I sighed. But Willow thought my silence meant she'd hit the nail on the head. She threw herself into my arms, clutching me tightly. I don't care, she said, voice trembling against my neck. You've already seen every inch of me. You have to take responsibility. Her breath against my skin was so hot it almost burned. I couldn't help but laugh quietly. My hands traced slow, casual circles across her back. Don't worry, I said gently. I'll take full responsibility. She pulled back a little, looking up at me with those stunning peach blossom eyes. Really? I smiled wider, staring right into her eyes. Of course. Finally, Willow exhaled, visibly relieved. She rubbed her nose lightly against mine and murmured, are you hungry? Let's go eat something. Honestly, I was thinking about eating something else first, but before I could say a word, ding dong, the doorbell rang. I chuckled. No need, I said. That's the food delivery. It's right on time. I patted her back lightly and took her hand, guiding her toward the door. I ordered some local specialties, your favorite sesame lamb, and also, but the rest of my sentence froze in my throat the instant the door swung open. Maria stood there, breathless, her eyes blazing like molten metal. She pointed straight at me, shouting, you're George, you're him. I finally found you. She tilted her head slightly, forcing what she probably thought was a cute smile, but it came off awkward, a little unhinged. Then her gaze shifted past me, to Willow standing just behind my shoulder. In an instant, her expression turned cold as ice. Chapter 18. Maria stood blocking the doorway, her glare sharp as a blade as it sliced toward Willow. She snapped. George is mine, Maria. Willow's voice suddenly rose, cutting her off. With a cold, mocking laugh, she said, what nonsense are you spouting in broad daylight? Then, with deliberate precision, George is my boyfriend. You were the one who introduced us, remember? Maria's lips trembled. I didn't know back then that he was. She bit her lip, glaring daggers at Willow, muttering under her breath before raking her fingers through her hair in frustration. Her tone sharpened as she said angrily, Willow, I treated you like my best friend. What did you take me for? You knew the person I've been searching for all along was George, and you still kept quiet. If your little hotel date hadn't been caught on camera by classmates, how much longer were you planning to hide it from me? Maria's words came faster and sharper, her temper boiling over. She looked ready to curse, but then glanced at me and swallowed the insults back. Instead, she said bitterly, fine, I'll make this simple. Just give George back to me, and I'll pretend none of this ever happened. I frowned, but before I could speak, two voices overlapped perfectly, mine and Willow's. Did you ask for my opinion? Did you ask my boyfriend's opinion? I couldn't help the flicker of satisfaction in my chest. Sorry, when you're in sync, you're in sync. I reached out, took Willow's hand, and stepped forward until we were standing right in front of Maria. She looked up at me, dazed. George, I raised a hand to stop her. Maria, calm down. You and I are ancient history. I have a girlfriend now. Then I added coolly. And for the record, I don't have a kink for being anyone's dog. Maria's face changed instantly, eyes wide, like she'd just realized what I was referring to. Panic flashed through her expression. I wasn't interested in dragging this out. I pulled out my phone and said flatly, I don't want my girlfriend to misunderstand. Let's just delete each other and move on. No. Maria stepped forward, her throat tightening. Her voice shook as she pleaded. Don't delete me, please. But by the time the words left her mouth, I'd already pressed the red button. Maria stared blankly at her screen, watching her contact vanish from my list. Her eyes reddened instantly, tears brimming as she choked out, George, I mean it. I really, really love you. Before I could respond, Willow shoved her hard, snapping. Do you have no shame? She'd held back long enough. If it weren't for keeping up appearances, she'd have cut Maria off a dozen sentences ago. Just as she raised her hand to slap her, I caught her wrist and gave a small shake of my head. Willow bit her lip, said nothing, and finally lowered her hand. Maria's eyes brightened for a moment. She thought I was protecting her. George, she said, voice trembling. I knew it. You still care about me. You can't. I interrupted coldly. I just don't want my girlfriend's hands getting dirty. My tone hardened, my gaze like frost. As for you, I don't pity you. I find you ridiculous. Weren't you the one telling everyone that I was just a broke loser? A backup, a simp you wanted to dump? Well, congratulations. That's exactly what you did. So why are you crying now? I took a step forward, voice sharp as steel. Enough talk. I've said everything that needs saying, but if you insist on causing trouble, I smiled coldly. I don't mind handling it myself. The look on my face must have said it all. Disgust, finality, and something that made her flinch. Maria's forced smile froze. Her cheeks burned red, whether from shame or fury. I couldn't tell. She stared at me for a long, silent moment, biting down hard on her lip. Then she shot Willow one last venomous glare, and stormed out, her anger trailing behind her like smoke. Chapter 19. On registration day, I somehow ended up featured on the campus confession wall. When Willow saw it a few days later, she practically lost her mind with jealousy. Without hesitation, she commented right under the post, "Sorry, this is my boyfriend. Please stay away from him. Thanks. P.S." Attaching a couple photo. Only after posting did she turn to me and ask sweetly, "George, you don't mind me making it public, right?" I squinted at her, suppressing a smirk. Willow, I'd realized, wasn't just clever, she was also a master of subtle pretentious coquette moves. Ever since we got together, she'd been showing off our relationship in every little way, changing her profile picture, updating her background photo, writing vague status posts about someone special, like a love-struck middle schooler. Childish, but what could I say? She was so gorgeous that I couldn't bring myself to stop her. Still, a little punishment never hurt anyone. A sly grin tugged at my lips as I pretended to frown. "You didn't even ask me before making that post," I said sternly. "I'm not happy about that." Willow lowered her head instantly, her voice small and pitiful. "I'm sorry. I just saw people leaving comments under your name and got upset. I didn't mean to overstep. I promise I won't do it again." I looked at her for a moment, barely managing to hold back my laughter. Then I cleared my throat and said, "Well, if you want me to let it slide, that's simple enough." Her eyes lit up immediately. "Really? What should I do?" I arched a brow and leaned closer, my voice dropping into a teasing murmur. "You know that revealing photo you sent me, was it really unedited?" I went on. "I've never quite believed a figure could be that perfect. I'd like to verify it in person." Willow froze for half a second, then her face exploded in red as she stammered, "All right now?" I nodded, dead serious. "Yeah, right now." Her lashes fluttered. "George," she whispered, "you're so straightforward." I clicked my tongue. "Well, are you gonna let me see or not?" Her voice was barely audible. "You can see." The moment she said it, I pulled my phone from my pocket and said cheerfully, "Great, I'll book a hotel right now." Chapter 20. Hotel. As soon as we entered the room, Willow finally relaxed. The entire way here, her hand, trapped in mine, had been drenched in sweat, though she kept pretending to be calm and composed. I had no intention of exposing her act. I chose to play blind. Just as I was about to step further into the room, Willow suddenly threw herself into my arms and buried her face against my chest. In a trembling voice, she said, "George, I like you so much, so much." I sighed helplessly and replied, "I know, but could you not cling so close? If you keep this up, I'm afraid I won't be able to control myself." Willow froze for a second, realizing what I meant. She lowered her gaze and quickly let go of my hands. Stepping back a little, with her cheeks completely flushed, she murmured, "Sorry. I didn't mean to." Then she asked, "So, do you still want to look?" I lifted my chin and answered firmly, "Of course." She took a deep breath, as if making up her mind. "Then close your eyes. When I'm ready, you can open them." I nodded. "All right." I obeyed and closed my eyes. My breathing grew heavier. Just imagining what I was about to see made my body react immediately. The room fell silent. Only the soft sound of fabric brushing against skin remained, the kind of sound that could send your imagination spiraling. That sense of blindness, of relying only on the mind, burned me up even more. Though the air conditioner was on its lowest setting, heat devoured me, and sweat began to bead across my skin. I took a deep breath, trying to suppress the wild rush of thoughts in my head. Finally, I heard a faint sigh from Willow, just a soft Before I could say anything, I opened my eyes in shock. With just one glance, a shiver ran down my spine. In a hoarse, uneven voice, I murmured, "Willow, can I open my eyes now?" Blushing all the way to her ears, she hurriedly covered herself with her clothes and said, biting her lip, "You already did, and you're still asking. You're so bad." The next instant, I pulled her back into my arms and whispered, "Let me hold you for a moment, just for a moment." Chapter 21. Willow huffed. "You liar. You said, just a moment, but it's already been half an hour and you still won't let go." She pushed me gently. "If you're going to hug me, at least do it on the bed, won't you?" I was taken aback. "Seriously, I can." She let out a small snort. My legs just fell asleep. Don't get any ideas. But before she could finish, I had already lifted her into my arms and laid her down on the bed. Then, with gentle movements, I began to massage her calves. "I'm not thinking anything improper," I assured her softly. "Relax. I won't do anything without your consent." She pressed her lips together, saying nothing. We stayed like that, wrapped in each other's arms, until we both fell asleep. In the middle of the night, the heat kept me restless. I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Half asleep, I heard footsteps, the sound of a zipper, fabric moving, and then a touch. I frowned and opened my eyes. At that instant, my pupils widened. Willow was half kneeling beside the bed, tying her hair up while gazing at me with eyes full of desire. With a teasing smile, she said, "I never said I disagreed." Seeing my stunned expression, she slid her fingers down to my belt and murmured, "That means, you can do whatever you want." A shiver shot through me. Willow was being incredibly seductive. And me, am I supposed to be made of stone in the face of such temptation? Of course not. With such beauty so close, hesitating even a second would be an insult to the dopamine rushing through my veins. So, let the feast begin. Chapter 22. 2 hours later, Willow placed her soft hands on my chest and said, "I'm thirsty, move aside. I want some water." I immediately saw through her little scheme, grabbed her hands, and said, "Call me husband, and I'll let you go get water. Deal?" Meeting her alluring eyes, she finally whispered, "Husband." My pupils constricted slightly. With a little strength, I scooped her up in my arms and said, "Good girl, wife. Your husband will carry you to get water." Willow was speechless. Chapter 23. After the semester officially started, I had so many classes that Willow and I saw each other less and less. Every time we parted, she would always linger for a long time. My roommate couldn't stand it anymore and mocked, "You two see each other every day. Who are you trying to impress with that tragic farewell act?" It wasn't the first time he had taken shots at me. Ever since he started dating Maria, he had all sorts of problems with me. I'm not someone who takes things lying down, so of course, I wasn't going to let him insult me for free. Frowning, I said, "Sorry, my girlfriend just happens to be clingy, unlike your drama queen girlfriend who throws a tantrum every other day. You son of a..." My roommate was speechless, his face turning pale with anger. I couldn't be bothered with him. I went back to my bed and messaged Willow, "I've found a place. If you're okay with it too, we can move in as soon as possible." Willow replied quickly, "I'll listen to whatever my husband says." Chapter 24. On the day I moved out of the dorm, I ran into Maria. Or more accurately, she blocked my way, behind the library, near the artificial rockery. Maria grabbed at me, insisting I give her an explanation. I sighed and said, "If you've got something to say, fine, just let go first." "Okay." But she refused to release me, glaring as if she might bite at any moment. Her lips pressed into a thin line as she asked, word by word, "Are you really going to live with Willow?" I frowned. "What does that have to do with you? Who are you to question me? What right or identity do you think you have?" She grew more agitated, her voice rising to a sharp pitch. Why? Why did you choose her?" Maria's eyes reddened. "What does she have that I don't?" At some point, a chain appeared in her hand. I froze, completely confused. Then, to my shock, she fastened the chain around her own neck. She handed the other end to me and said, "I can be good, please. Look at me, won't you?" She added, "I won't ruin your relationship." Then she whispered, "Please, master." I was stunned. A chill crawled down my spine, goosebumps breaking out all over. Maria still thought it wasn't enough. She slipped off her outer jacket, revealing something quite different underneath. She said, "You always liked girls with good figures, didn't you? Look, I'm not that bad either." Seeing her like that, I acted on instinct, raised my hand, and with a sharp smack, my palm landed hard across her face. Her cheek immediately swelled up. Word by word, I told her, "Didn't I already warn you? If you keep pestering me, I won't hesitate to use force." But Maria, as if she'd lost her mind, begged me to keep hitting her. I was utterly speechless. This madness went on until I finally called the police. When they arrived, they had to physically take her away. After I told Willow everything, she looked disgusted. What the hell is wrong with her? I never noticed she had that kind of twisted kink before. She hugged me tightly, saying, "You've been through so much, honey. I won't forgive her for this." She kept repeating, "I'm sorry." Willow was deeply remorseful, convinced that if she hadn't gone early that morning to set up our new place, she would have noticed Maria's behavior and prevented the whole thing. Maria was first taken to the hospital to treat her facial injuries, then brought in for questioning. Because she was a girl, the school wanted to keep things quiet, but Willow made sure that didn't happen. She pulled some strings and had the whole bizarre story spread around. Soon, everyone knew. Maria's pride and vanity shattered completely. Everywhere she went, people whispered and pointed fingers. Unable to bear the humiliation, she dropped out shortly after. Before leaving, she'd tried asking around about me, but I only heard that much long after the fact. From then on, she vanished from my life. That unsettling online romance episode finally ended for good. With that annoying fly gone, my college life with Willow was so sweet it could make a person cry. The cold and untouchable goddess image she once had shattered completely in front of me, There was nothing pure or restrained left. Now she was basically the reincarnation of a clingy sweetheart, and I, of course, was happily enjoying every minute of it. Time flew by quickly. Before we knew it, we were seniors. Unlike other couples who broke up in their final year, we never had that anxiety. We'd already made our plan to stay together and pursue our master's degrees at the same university. Willow was still my exclusive little attachment, only now she wore the title with pride. After all, we were basically an old married couple by now. One lazy, sun-drenched weekend afternoon, we curled up together at an outdoor table of the lakeside cafe on campus. She held a cup of hot cocoa, sipping it slowly in tiny gulps. The sunlight traced a soft golden outline around her hair, making her look as breathtaking as ever. She idly picked up my phone and started scrolling. Somehow, she stumbled upon my hidden album. There was only one photo inside, that photo, the explosive one from back then. Willow froze for a moment. Then her entire face flushed scarlet in an instant. Fuming, she puffed up her cheeks and demanded, "Why do you still have this photo?" Her tiny pink fists began raining harmless blows on me. Laughing, I caught one midair, pulled her gently into my arms, and rested my chin on the top of her head. The scent of her hair filled my senses, and a deep, quiet happiness settled in my chest. I said, "Of course I kept it." That was the key evidence of my successful transition from an online romance to real life, and the beginning of how I managed to steal away the cold, untouchable campus goddess. Such an important historical artifact deserves careful preservation and regular appreciation. The girl in my arms went silent for a few seconds. Then came her playful, sulky voice. "I don't care. I'm giving you two choices. Either you admire the photo or you admire the real thing. You can only pick one." I burst out laughing, tightening my arms around her. "Only children make choices," I said. "I'm taking both." Extra. 6 years later, that night, I finished my shower and warmed a cup of milk for Anna. Just as I reached her door, I heard her say, "When I grow up, I want to be like Mom and drive away those scummy women who pester Dad." Willow said, "No." The woman in the room wagged her index finger from side to side and, with a serious look, said, "It's enough for Mom to drive away those scummy women who pester Dad." Anna protested, "But," Willow replied, "Anna, don't always try to compete with Mom for Dad, or I'll smack you." I let out an helpless laugh. Her, still so childish,